Hello and welcome to GlitchCube. We're a gaming podcast, and each week we take a deeper look into the art of video games. As always, I'm Christian.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys once again for joining us as we dive further into the world of games. So this week we are going to be going heavy in the paint with some Pokemon, right? It is that time to talk about it. It's on everyone's mind right now. We have two big hitters out there in this world. With the announcement of Winds and Waves, which we'll go over to you. Maybe we'll talk about some of these starters and what we've seen so far, some theories behind these things. And then also the Pokopia. Is that how you say it? Is that right? Pokopia?
I call it Pokopia, but it I don't know. Nintendo said Pokopia. I think it's just you can say either or.
Yeah. This game, I've watched quite a bit of it. It's switched to exclusive. Unless you have game share, then technically you can play with someone else that has Switch One. But I have watched quite a bit of it. I'm pretty sure you've had your hands on it, right? So.
Oh yeah. I already got like 20 hours of it.
I'm really excited to talk about this because this setting just seems so batshit, to be honest. It's a weird, man. It seems pretty fun. So what do you want to start off with? Do you want to jump into Pokopia, or do you want to talk about some of this Winds and Waves?
Let's do the Pokopia, I guess, because that's fresh in my mind. So those that don't know, this game is basically Animal Crossing meets Dragon Quest Builders.
Meets post-apocalyptic, The Thing, Murder, Nightmare Fuel.
It's like, yeah, post-apocalyptic basically, because like, I don't know, there's lore you find in the game, and like, the long story short, like, there's obviously more to it, but what I think it is there was like some environmental problem, and something happened, but basically you are a Ditto who transformed into like a human version of, or a somewhat human version of its trainer, and you basically are working with this Tangela professor, and you're recruiting Pokemon by building little habitats for them. You recruit them, and there's so many in this game. It's insane. I just keep unlocking new habitats, and each habitat sometimes will have 1 to 4 Pokemon that could spawn from it, and some of them are specific to like the weather or the time of day. Some are like very rare, so it's like almost never spawns. But basically that's kind of the core of it, is you are doing little requests for your Pokemon, and in the first zone, it's kind of like your goal is to rebuild that broken Poke Center. And in the trailer, they made a big deal about that. And basically, there's always a Poke Center in these different regions. I think once you get away from that first region, there's little storylines and stuff that kind of like surpass the Poke Center like rebuild of an area. Like, it kind of becomes like, okay, the Poke Center's fine, but it's not the most important thing here, kind of thing. And so for me, I've already been to 3 areas, and I'm about to finish my second area of the 3. So basically, when you finish a zone, it allows you to kind of move on to the next zone, obviously. But these zones are just so huge, for people that didn't play Dragon Quest Builders, third-person Minecraft, basically.
It's made by the same people who did Dragon Quest Builders, yes, right? Yeah.
That's what got me interested in this game, because at first I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then I saw they were making it, and I was like, oh, I think I need to buy this, because I loved the first 2 Dragon Quest Builders a lot. And as someone who has a lot of history with those 2 games, it's kind of cool seeing how much it has evolved to this. Like in Dragon Quest Builders 2, there were limitations of how much you could put down, how big of a place you had. In this, I don't know if there's a limit of what you can put down, because the maps are just so big for all of these places. And, it's kind of awesome because you'll just stumble upon, you'll go around a mountain range, or you'll like dig a tunnel through and you come out and it's like, oh, here's like a dilapidated little area with like some broken houses and, a windmill or something like that. And you're like, what? Like, why is this here? It's like the story doesn't take you there, right? So if you're just doing the requests from the professor and maybe the other people, it wouldn't take you over to that spot. Or maybe it does way later in the game, but it's like you can get to it pretty early. And it's, each zone has something you learn that then you can take back and go and do other stuff, right? So it always kind of keeps you coming back to where you started. And I haven't gotten sick of it yet. I feel like in these kind of games, there usually is a point I reach, usually by now, where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to build the most basic, what's needed to advance the story and keep going. Right. But in this, it's like, I'm like doing that, but I'm making sure it looks good. And as I'm doing that, I see 5 things along the way that I'm like, oh, I could touch this up. Oh, yeah, I could put some more blocks down to make this look pretty. Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I'm going to come back to it and make it look really good later on. And it's addictive. I think this game kind of took me by surprise. And obviously, looking at other people, it seems like it's taken them by surprise, too, because it's sold out everywhere physically, except for like Amazon or something. And even there, apparently, like it's more expensive. It's probably a third-party reseller, but because Amazon doesn't really change prices like that. But yeah, man, like this game, it's like if you like those kind of games, you're gonna love this game. If you don't really play these games, it's like I don't know if someone would find enjoyment in it, because these kind of building games are kind of, cozy vibe. And a lot of people out there love or hate them. And I think this
the addition
game
of the Pokemon, though, and like finding Pokemon and things, that really sells it, because that was one of the things. Like Animal Crossing, I liked it for a little bit, but then I fell off of it. I was like, I can't do this every single day. Like it was fun. Yeah, but this is like new environments to build. What Pokemon ends up in the tall grass this time, right? Like they're already putting in events for Pokopia, like right?
Yeah, I think event just started today or something.
Yeah,
for some reason I haven't seen it, but
the Hoppip one or something like that, and like this game's new, and they already have an event out there. So I think that is gonna keep this game going because it's Pokemon, right? Like the whole transformation thing is interesting. It's all the best things about games like Animal Crossing. And then layer on like monster catching and collecting on top of that, right?
Yeah. And, there's new variants of Pokemon, right? Like in the trailer, you saw the Moss Lax. So it's a Snorlax with moss on it. And there's a couple other variants too. And, Animal Crossing, the newest one, right? New Horizons. I remember I bought it day one, played the hell out of it. But it was very bare bones when it first came out. And I mean, to this day, it is still kind of bare bones, especially when you compare it to like New Leaf and some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I've gone back to it. Like every big update Animal Crossing had, I would go back to it and be let down. But the best part of it was the DLC, because at one point I had the family subscription thing, and it gives you that DLC. It's like you build rooms for people for this agency.
Cool. Yeah.
And that was fun because it's like, I want this style like this, and you have complete freedom of putting what items there and all that kind of stuff. Like it was really enjoyable, and it was a really good hook. But other than that, it was kind of like, okay, like we're going to go put this in the museum, and like, I don't know. It just kind of, it got really boring. You know,
it became repetitive.
It was not. Yeah. Like I felt like older Animal Crossing games at least had something that kind of, I don't know, they're a little more charming, I think, too. But this game, you know, the Animal Crossing side of it is basically, I mean, the music kind of reminds me of it at times, but the Pokemon, you know, you'll see them kind of bumbling around. They're interacting with the other Pokemon and they're doing stuff. And, you know, the goal in progressing in this is to increase the environment level. And to do that, you need happy Pokemon. And to do that, it's like you have to talk to them. They ask, it's like, what's something for your house that you need? And, you know, they'll want a toy or they'll want, you know, a bed or something like that. So you do that, it increases the level, which then gives you new recipes, new items. And, you know, with that, you're able to do more in the game. And it becomes this loop of like, oh, and now I want to talk to all the Pokemon. Whereas like an Animal Crossing, yeah, you could talk to all your villagers because you don't want them to leave.
Yeah,
but other than that, I
never really cared.
Boring.
Yeah, like I know.
Yeah,
like especially if you get a villager that you just really didn't care about. Like I would just leave them alone until they moved out. I'm like, yeah, just go somewhere else, man. Right? Like it was kind of messed up. But with this, at least, it's fun finding even Pokemon that you don't want. Right?
Yes, like, and that's happened because the cool thing is, you know, eventually. You start building little houses for them, little dens, right? They're like, could be little shacks or, you know, they have like really nice houses. But when you start moving in the houses, their habitats open back up. And if you just kind of let them sit there, if those habitats have more possible Pokemon to catch, it'll refill with a different Pokemon. So like this second area I'm in, I started like mass building a bunch of little sand dens for them. So all these habitats, it'd be like one pops up here, one pops up here. So I got like an extra like 5 Pokemon. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
see, that's cool.
That zone is just so full of Pokemon. I think it's probably now got the most of the zones.
Do the Pokemon repeat? So once you catch one, do you get a second of the same type?
No.
Or, okay, so they don't repeat. Okay.
No, it's all, and I mean, you can bring them to different regions too. You can follow them. So for people out there that are like, oh, I need something to burn something, but I don't have it in this region, you can bring someone from your other region over.
Okay, that's cool.
But this game is very friendly in a lot of ways and it leaves a lot open for people. And I think that's what I'm really loving about this. And it made me think about a lot of cozy games in general. And there's a reason why, for me, I've always loved Harvest Moon games. And I've tried to play a lot of more modern, cozy games, and a lot of them are really good and enjoyable, and I think they scratch an itch. But something I started thinking about is, like, I don't care for combat in these games. You know, with Stardew Valley, you have the mines, or like Fields of Mystery, you have the mines again. And
yeah,
I understand it. It creates another like gameplay loop that is different from just the farming. But in the old Harvest Moons, it always felt like it was just tacked on because it's like, okay, I'm going to swing my sword and that's it. And to me, it's too boring, too basic. And I was thinking, I like my farming games without combat. And I feel like nowadays you don't see that too often. Like they always have to put in combat. And it's kind of a shame. And I think this game, because it doesn't have combat, it's been much more enjoyable because it's like, well, now I get to focus fully on building. I don't have to worry about anything, you know? And it's just, this loop is so appealing. Like I really love it. Like it's just a good game to put on when you need a little break. And I will say it stresses me out sometimes just because it's like I see 20 things I want to do and fix and put down, and then I have 3 Pokemon coming up talking to me being like, I want to give you something. Oh, I need something. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
it's like, back off.
I'm like, I'm like, this is stressing me out, man. But That's awesome.
It's too much like real life where you have all your kids coming up to you asking you for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I think I don't see myself getting bored of this. I see myself actually kind of getting into it. And that's something I always get kind of afraid of nowadays with these games, because it's like I don't like to spend too much time on a game that is like not progressing a story or anything. Like I want to spend my time in something that's kind of progressing. And I haven't played a game like this in a very long time other than Fields of Mystria, but it just feels good to be like, I'm going to build this little chunk of my little tiny map and be happy for the night. And
it's like rewarding to get a new Pokemon, right? I think that the way that this is set up, it's going to take a long time to get all the Pokemon. And with the events, they're just going to keep adding more and more, right? I mean, there's thousands of Pokemon to pick from now at this point. So I feel like that loop is going to last a good while, I will say, one of the big gripes I have against it is the real time. Right, the real time mechanic I think is a little I feel like we should be done with that. The only reason why I find that kind of annoying, right, is it's the same thing that happened to me whenever I was playing Animal Crossing. Was every single time I played Animal Crossing, it was dark, right? So it was always nighttime, and I never felt like changing the system time clock, because I know you can, but I just never really wanted to go through that whole route, and I never felt vested that much to do it, whereas time traveling. But yeah, so I think that's the only thing that I'm like, that seems like that could kind of suck after a while. But there is so much to do that it doesn't feel like that's really going to be that much of an issue, right? You can set something up and then just be like, all right, I'll be back later,
Yeah, so the building stuff, it'll be like, oh, it's going to take 15 minutes. Oh, it's going to take an hour. Oh, it's going to take a little bit longer than that. But it's easy to just kind of go and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because of having everything with the kids, I end up playing at nighttime a lot. But it doesn't really affect a whole lot. Yes, they'll sleep, but you can just wake them up.
Mm-hmm.
There are some Pokemon that don't come out at night. So if you are trying to hunt the habitat, there is that. But I've barely seen any of those. They're there, but I haven't had that issue. I still find new things all the time at night. And the cool thing about this game too is it's other than Pokemon, you're also finding stuff in the wild, right? You're finding lore, or you're finding little diary journals of people that live there, and there's always something thrown at you. If not, you're always finding items. You're either finding items or recipes. Yesterday it was you're gonna find extra sparkles in the water, which basically will always give you a recipe.
Okay.
So I was just running around water and grabbing all of them. And yeah, it's just the game, it's as soon as you start feeling okay, I'm kind of what do I do? Or, I'm kind of feel like I'm getting kind of over it, something pops up and I'm okay, well, I gotta go grab that, and then it just splits off from there, which is really nice. There's a reason why this is now the highest rated Pokemon game of all time.
Right. I mean, yeah, it looks awesome. It really does. I will say that the fact that you are a Ditto is pretending to be a human is kind of terrifying. And some of the abilities that you have definitely reminds me of John Carpenter's The Thing, especially Cut. That just looks vicious. So for those of you who don't know, definitely check out a video of this, because it is the craziest looking thing in the world. But you mimic a human being, right? But you have a Ditto face, of course. And the Cut one specifically, you get Scyther's blades. As arms, and you just slice through things, but the rest of your body is this super cute, adorable child, right? So it is just very weird body dysmorphia or body horror kind of thing. It's creepy, but I like it. So I don't know. I think it's really funny that they did stuff like that. They added that in. This feels like a really weird departure from a Pokemon game. Yeah, we haven't had anything this goofy. the fact that all humans are just gone, right? Like that alone is like, what the hell is going on here, right? And every time you talk to a Pokemon, whenever you find them, it's like, oh, I was like sleeping and I don't know what happened. And it's like, who knows how many years in the future and there's no more humans left and the world is just kind of like destroyed by climate change, right? Like it's kind of dark, to be honest. So I don't know. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it's because people wanted a good Animal Crossing, and this kind of scratches that. And people want another Dragon Quest Builders, and then you have Pokemon, and it's like it's just the perfect mix.
Yeah,
you know. I think it's amazing how many little like transformations your little dude can do, and yeah, I'm like I'm excited to always go back and play it every time I pick it up. You know, it makes it kind of difficult because I'm jumping between a few games right now, but yeah, I'm digging it. It's weird. It makes me want to play other Pokemon games. Like I know I was playing Legends ZA, but I was like, I kind of feel like playing a more traditional Pokemon game. Right. So I just started playing Pokemon Black. So maybe in a week or 2, 3 weeks from now, I'll have more to talk about that because the DS generation I kind of skipped.
Yeah, a lot of people say that's like one of the best ones. So
yeah, so I'm like I've played a little bit of Platinum, and that was it for the DS games. So I have Black White, XY. I don't need to play Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I played so much of Silver back in the day. I don't need to go back to Johto. Right. So I'm trying to experience new generations that I never did. I kind of want to go back and play Emerald because I played a lot of Ruby back in the day. And it's weird because it's like Pokemon almost never have good stories. I've heard Black and White have decent stories, so I'm kind of excited. But yeah, I love running around and exploring the worlds in these games. Pokemon is it's interesting. And Pokopia, it's kind of like, yeah, everything's in ruins, but because of the ruined buildings being there, it kind of gives you inspiration of like, I want to build something new there. Right. And it's cool, man. It's just cool how big these spaces are to build. I think that's my favorite thing because so many games like this give you such a limited scope of what you can build. This just kind of is like, here's your tools, go crazy. And it's been a really good time.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. It looks really cool. I wish I had a Switch 2 to get my hands on it. But talking about Pokemon games and, just kind of exploring new stuff, I'm really curious about Winds and Waves. I think that looks awesome. We got new Gen 10. We got these new starters with Brout, Pombon, and Gekwa. Like very weird names. But like,
I need Pawn, dude.
Which one? So just what's your starter choice? Which one are you like looking at right now?
Oh, the dog.
Yeah, you like Pombon?
Oh, yes, instantly. I saw that and I was like, I need it.
I don't know. I feel like I like Route. I like that angry or Brout, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is one. That is cutie.
I mean, Gekwa looks really cool too, but I feel like I don't remember what the last like gecko water one was. Like the weird
Trico,
emo looking one. There's a blue one, and thinking Sword and Shield.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, so like last time I played with that one, so I might like change things up. But like Brout, definitely, I don't know, it looks kind of adorable. So I'm curious about like evolutions and things, but I can definitely see Pombon being like a faux dog or like a foo dog later on. Like that makes the most sense to me, because the setting apparently the setting is going to be like Philippines inspired. Which is really what I was cool.
Thinking, yeah.
Yeah. And so like island hopping, which would be really rad. I'm curious because the trailer makes it seem very kind of like chill resort style, but it would be nice to have it. I don't know. Like I'm itching for a decent story for once. And I would love for this to be the one to do it. But based off that trailer with the Pikachus and vacation wear, I don't know. I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I'm looking at some of the photos again, and it's like there are little areas that aren't so resort looking, right? It looks more like it'd be like a rural town, and Yeah, I'm hoping there's a story. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, I know not X and Y, Scarlet and Violet, it tried to have 3 different storylines going on at the same time. Right? It had your normal gym, it had the team, rocket equivalent, Starfall or whatever, and then it had like these titans that you had to go after. And it was like 3 branching storylines that kind of all merged at the end. And I guess the DLC actually has a really good story, but I kind of took a break from Scarlet. But I'm hoping this has a better story. I think a lot of people look at Pokemon as like, well, I don't go there for the story, but it's like, I don't know. I think you could make a really cool story in this world. It's just after watching Pokemon X and Y, like the whole seasons, right, all the way through when I did the Z part, and I was like, the story to this was so good, and I'm like, why can't they do like
just make the
fulfilling
anime
storylines
right?
in the game?
Yeah,
I mean, they have XY, but I'm like, I don't know if the games have that kind of depth as the show. But yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful for it. I still want to get through Scarlet, but this looks good. I wonder, it seems like it's more open world. Like, I know a lot of people kind of hated that about Scarlet and Violet because it's like Breath of the Wild kind of open where you can just kind of go everywhere. And, Sword and Shield still had it where it was like, here's routes and you're going along that. And as someone who's played both, I kind of hated the open world of Scarlet at first. I kind of welcomed up to it a little bit, where I'm like, this kind of makes sense, but it's kind of like, oh, well, here's a cluster of Pokemon that just get dropped here. Like, there's parts of it that you're kind of like, this could have been implemented a little bit better.
Yeah, well, it didn't really feel like exploration, right? Because you knew where they were at. It's like, they're all in this area, right? Like,
well, they also don't really tell you where to go next, so it's like, you could end up going somewhere where the Pokemon are like twice your level and you just get stomped.
Yeah, that was
because it's open world, right? It's not like a linear path where you're kind of like, okay, next gym, here we go. It's like, oh, I'm level 20 hitting level 60 area. So it's like, that was kind of a bummer. But I don't know, maybe they kind of figured it out with this. At least it looks better.
I wouldn't mind like a route system for this. I think that would be really interesting. A little bit more story driven one. Like it would be it would make sense if there was like a safari zone kind of thing, right? And that's like your full open world area, but have it a little bit more linear so there is some sort of interesting story going on. Because I really feel like that's the one thing that Pokemon, I mean, they were never really great at it, but they definitely have fully departed from that. Where like that is not the focus anymore, right? It is just how many new types of Pokemon can people get out there and just kind of play with. So
yep.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I'm excited to see what's gonna come of it. It looks gorgeous, like the water looks amazing alone, and so I'm pretty excited about all that. But I am bummed out that this is also another Switch 2 exclusive. I get it, like seeing how horrible like Scarlet ran on the Switch.
Yes.
There's no way in hell this is gonna run. I'm very surprised that anyone can even get like a Switch 1 to game share Pokopia even. So, and apparently like it looks decent. Like apparently, I guess the things that you can do when you're game sharing are very limited, but the fact that they even have that implemented where it can go cross-platform like that or cross-generation is pretty interesting. So like kudos to them for figuring that out. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it is kind of a bummer that it's not going the past generation, but I mean, if it's going to be a Switch 2, meaning it's going to actually look good and play good, I'm like, it's kind of worth it. It's like, there's not many like Switch 2 exclusives in that way, right? It's just Mario Kart World, Kirby Air Riders, Pokopia. I think that's it. Because I know Metroid Prime 4 came to the Switch 1. And Donkey Kong Bonanza was the other one. But I think that's it. I think everything else did cross-platform.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I mean, I bet you in a year or two it'll just be where everything's on the Switch too, unless it's like indie games where they'll just drop it on the original Switch. But
yeah, no, that makes sense. And it's just the natural progression of any console. So it's got to all convert to the next one soon anyway. I'm just annoyed because I don't have one. But
yeah, I look at it like this, because I see people asking about it on the internet, and they're like, well, is Pokopia worth getting a Switch to just for that? And it's kind of hard to say yes to that, because like if that's your kind of game, then possibly. But as of right now, when I look at my Switch 2, I don't play it a whole lot. I mean, it basically took the place of my original Switch. And, I was playing ZA a little bit. I was playing Kirby Air Riders actually quite a lot when I got it. I really liked that game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But for games that you can't play on the Switch 1, it's like, Bonanza's cool. I had fun with it up to a certain point. But overall, it's a decent game for what it is, at least until the next Mario. And then, Mario Kart World, just, you're better off with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And then, with Pokopia, it's like, I think it's worth it, but at the same time, with how expensive things are, it's like, I would say maybe wait until like the next Pokemon or something. Like for me, the next Switch game I want is the Tomodachi game. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, I'm like, man, I'm finally actually using my Switch. I feel like I almost never use like Nintendo stuff unless it's like older handheld things. But yeah, I don't know. I think for people that are on the fence about getting a Switch 2, like just wait. Maybe wait till the holidays when there might be a sale on it. But
right.
It's really the only thing that I think would appeal to everybody is this game. Kirby Air Riders is kind of hard to recommend to people because it is kind of a weird, different take. It's chaos. It's awesome. I love it. It's just so fast paced, but it's hard to recommend that to somebody. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm kind of glad that this game is doing as well as it is.
Yeah. No, I think that Pokopia is really showing that what's going to be on the Switch 2 and what's going to be exclusive to it is going to be worth it. Right? Like, I think that this is just kind of like a sign of things to come, and seeing like the trailers of the new Pokemon, everything like that. So I am very excited to see what the actual like real exclusives, the other big hitters that come out soon to the Switch 2, and what other game designers are going to make capable on this, because I think it's going to be really cool. Like whatever the next like Xenogears whatever game that's going to be on there is going to be really interesting. So yeah, or some crazy big RPG weirdness, like Triangle Strategy 2 but Switch 2 exclusive. I think it's going to look gorgeous. So very excited for all this stuff. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for us this week. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little conversation here as we dive into the wonderful world of Pokemon. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week with some more games and all that good stuff. But until then, bye for now.